My name is Eratosthenes, and today I will tell you a little bit about myself. I wrote books on philosophy, geography, mathematics, astronomy, history, comedy, and poetry. All of this knowledge made me a great candidate for this job, the director of the Library of Alexandria, which I'll get into more later. I had two nicknames describing my vast array of skills, one of which was Beta, the second letter of the Greek alphabet. This was because, although I had a wide variety of achievements, none of which were the greatest or the first. The second of my nicknames was the pentathlete, which is somewhat similar to Beta, as it was a person who was very good in 5 sports, but not particularly a champion in any of the individual sports. I'm known best for 2 of my most important achievements, one of which was how I produced an accurate estimate of how big the Earth is, and the second of which is how I devised a method to find prime numbers. Legend has it that I went blind and starved myself to death when I was 80 years old, but I will not comment on that theory. I made one of the best maps of the area around the Mediterranean and parts of Asia. However, I thought this was the whole world, and I even created a calendar that included leap years. A crater on Earth's moon is named after me as well. The seamount in the eastern Mediterranean Sea is also named after me. Many scientific breakthroughs occurred before my life, like the construction of Euclidean geometry. Euclid is now praised as the father of geometry. Euclid established some very important rules that may seem very obvious in the modern day.
Hi, I'm Euclid, and today I'll show you my 5 postulates, all written in my book, The Elements. We'll start with postulate 1, which states that between any 2 points, one can form one straight line connecting the 2 points. Postulate 2 is equally as simple, stating that one straight line can be extended indefinitely or infinitely in either direction. Postulate 3 is a little more complicated. It says, given one line, you can form a circle using that line as a radius. One of the points of the line will be the center. Postulate 4 states that all right angles are equal. Postulate 5, that's what split my type of geometry, Euclidean geometry, from the rest, now known as non-Euclidean geometry. The postulate states that, given any 2 lines, if you intersect both lines with another line, and you add up the interior angles, if they're less than 180 degrees, the lines will inevitably intersect. But the thing is, that assumes that you're using a 2D plane, or even a specific type of 2D plane, because other planes, like spherical planes, do not have this property.
Earlier I explained about the Library of Alexandria and my credentials for the job. It contained at least 300 scrolls. However, in 236 BC, I served as the chief librarian. The library had a set of rules saying that any ship that entered Alexandria would have the books taken. The books were then copied in the library, and the owners were given copies, while the originals were put into the library. The library burned down long after my death in 64 BC. It was a very, very, very important job, and the world might not be the same without it and the various accomplishments that many people, including myself, made using the vast array of knowledge contained in it. Well, I hope you learned a lot about me and a bit about my friend Euclid. Thank you. Goodbye.